brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSim Studios YouTube channel. Hope everybody's having a good what day is it? A good Wednesday. Sorry, it seems like every time I start a show I forget what day it is, but yeah, I'm a busy man. What can I say? But I want to welcome you into the eSim Studios YouTube channel, the home of honest technology news, reviews, and discussions, right? We don't hold anything back here. I'm not paid off, unlike all the other YouTubers. We let our opinions fly, whether it's good or bad. So we just call it like it is. But I want to welcome everybody in. I just got done with a TikTok live stream. Boy, what a disaster that is. So I didn't want to do, like, if you watched yesterday's show, I didn't want to do the same thing I did yesterday, where I'm live on YouTube and live on TikTok at the same time. Now, the reason why I look so jacked up is because TikTok is so frustrating. I can't get a stream key, so I can connect it to this. So the ultimate goal is to have one produced show like this right now, like what you're watching. And then I can disperse it, because on StreamYard on the back end, you can connect it to Instagram, you can connect it to Facebook, you can connect it to YouTube, Twitter, but they don't have TikTok. Now, that's an automatic connection. You can still connect it, but you got to go into TikTok and get your little RTMP code, your little stream key, and you got to manually input that into StreamYard. Well, yesterday, after spending like an hour trying to find it, I find out, well, I'm on like a probationary period since I started. I'm on a burner account, burner phone. But I have to stream 3 times, and each time has to be at least 25 minutes. So I'm like, great. I'm like, well, these aren't gonna look that good, and they don't. But it will. So I did one yesterday. I did one today. And I'll probably do one later today. And I was thinking, you know what? I don't even have to show my face. I can just go live and just get up and go do whatever. And what do I care, right? I just need to get past that one last stream of 25 minutes so I can. Oh, and they won't even let me add a camera. Huh? Like, I know, it's crazy. I have to use my and it has to be desktop. You can't even go live from your mobile. So I got to use my it's not going to say a piece of shit laptop camera. This is like a $2,000 laptop. It is not a piece of shit. But one thing, I was talking about on the live, and I can't figure it out for the life of me. How do these laptops have such shitty cameras? I don't get it. Like, I found there's plenty of laptops that are $1,500, $1,700, right? Just as expensive as a S26 Ultra, right? As an iPhone 17 Pro Max, that have fantastic cameras on them, multiple fantastic cameras on them. Why can't they put one good camera on a laptop that's $1,500? Like, what are we doing here? Like, how can they be that shitty? Like, I just don't understand. Why can't they put a at the very least, and I get it, you might be saying, well, there's not enough room, the lid of a laptop's pretty thin, so you can't really fit a 50 megapixel Sony sensor in there, right? Okay, I get that. But what about the front facing sensor? These are pretty freaking good. Why can't you put one of these front facing sensors in a laptop? They're about the same size. I just don't get it. So the TikTok streams look pretty shitty, but it is what it is. Long-term goals. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just this little stupid probationary period I got to get through. And yeah, I know I've talked a ton of shit about TikTok, and I still think it's not the best application to be using if you're worried about security. That's why I'm using a burner phone and a burner account. But if I'm going to go full-time on social media, I'm going to need, unfortunately, I'm going to have to, hit all the avenues I can as far as revenue if I want to make the switch to full-time social media. So that's the goal, right? That's the goal. So, anyways, I'm not going to bore you with TikTok stuff, but I do have some really, really interesting and important news that we're going to get to today. And right before we get on here, I got banned on Reddit. Well, not on the whole Reddit, but I got banned on the Pixel thread on Reddit. And I'm going to try to bring up the message that got me banned. And I'll tell you the little backstory here in a minute, which is going to roll us into our main story. Well, our main story was in regards to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 and their new display technology, or should I say crease technology. And I'm still not sure if we're getting a creaseless display or not. We'll discuss that, and then we will discuss the new Pixel Glow, because I called it. I just don't have enough time. I was going through, because I remember saying over the last few days, and maybe y'all remember as well, I remember saying when those official photos, official renders of the Pixel 11 series came out, I was like, damn, where are they going to put this Pixel Glow thing at? Like, I don't see any RGB strip or any LED strip around the cameras, around the camera island. You know, like nothing. They have them, they're pretty pronounced. You can see them right as soon as you turn the phone around. Well, in these Pixel renders, like, I don't know where they're going to implement it. And I was saying a few days ago, I was like, you know what? The only place I can see them putting it is in the flash or inside the camera island, right? Guess what? That's where they're putting it. So we got our very first look, official look at what this Pixel Glow is what it's gonna look like. And I have a short video and a still photo that we're gonna view. Maybe we'll get into what got me banned here in a minute. Did I download this? Let me see here. So I got the Samsung, the new panel. It's pretty cool technology. We'll get into that. And let me send my computer the message that got me banned. I couldn't believe it. Me? Of all people? I've been a Pixel supporter for ever since the Nexus days. How are you going to ban me? Well, you'll find out. I got fed up with people bitching and complaining and essentially called them out by saying, so this Pixel thread, I don't know if I was going to pull up the thread here. I think they probably deleted my message, to be honest with you. Let's see. Let me send it through Blip to my mini PC. Okay. Now let me pull this up. We'll check this out real quick. Okay. That's in my downloads folder. So let me pull this up. I did a app review on Blip. If any of y'all use multiple devices or want to send a file from your phone to a PC or vice versa, your PC to your phone, maybe you did a screenshot that you want to send to your PC, quick share, not it. Samsung Flow, not it. Blip, I did an app review maybe a few weeks ago, I guess I'm late to the party. Apparently, everybody knows about this. But if you don't know about it, like me a month ago, Blip is the very best file transfer application, period. And it's free. It's 100% free. Like, there's no catch. It's free. And it is lightning fast. Because with Samsung Flow is a desktop app and a app for your phone that you can file transfer, right? But it takes forever. Every time I turn on my PC, it never connects to my phone. I have to manually connect it. Like today, I tried to connect it. It wouldn't connect. I'm like, you got it. Anyways, use Blip. It's much easier. And they have it for iPhone, for Android, for Mac OS, for iPad OS, for Windows. I even think they have a thing for Linux. Like, it's really, really nice. But check this out. So, and we'll roll into the Pixel thing, but let me show you while I get it on my mind, because I'm certainly going to forget about this. Let me show you what got me banned. So this is what I was writing. No, this is not what got me banned, but I was replying to another thread on Reddit in regards to this Pixel 11. So let me set the scene. This Pixel Glow feature leaked, which we're going to see here in just a minute. But there were people on the official. See, how do I get banned, but they don't? That's what I don't get. That's why sometimes I can't stand social media. I just post what I need to post and I get off. Rarely will you find me scrolling because I just wasted my time, right? Like, I got shit to do. Like, I rarely scroll. I'll usually post and get off. Or like today, the Pixel Glow leak came out. So I was like, oh, cool. And it leaked actually on Reddit. So the official one. So I got on Reddit to go grab the short video and the photo of it. But while I was downloading in the background, I was reading some of these messages. And I was like, literally every single message was negative about the Pixel. Now, you know me. Let's be fair, I've been kind of shitting on Pixel, but I have a very specific axe to grind with them when it comes to what I don't like about the Pixel, and it's not hardware. It's not necessarily software, even though it kind of is. Y'all know it's the 200 charging cycle limit. That's the one thing that drives me insane. That's the one thing that's preventing me from using it, because I know I'm going to like the phone. I love Pixels, but it's just this one thing that once you go past 200 charging cycles, they cut your charging speeds in half and limit your battery capacity to 80%. 200 charging cycles comes out to about 6 months of usage if you charge your phone every day. So why am I going to fall in love with a phone only to be able to use it for 6 months? Because after you hit that limit, it's going to take 2 hours to charge your phone. It's going to blow. It's going to suck. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just not get it, and then I won't be that, frustrated later. Well, today I was defending Pixel, right? So every single post, people were bitching and complaining about everything about this phone. Oh, you gave us less RAM. You're gonna make us buy the upgraded storage variant to get the extra RAM, or you didn't even increase the battery. And then the one that I replied under, they got me banned. This person was saying, how are you going to take away the thermometer sensor on there and then put a stupid RGB glow on there that you can't even see when you have the phone face up and your always on display on? And I read a few of them and I was like, man, these people are crazy. And then I read that and I'm just like, all right, like, I gotta say something. That's complete bullshit. I have never in my life, these are people that just want to complain about anything, right? These are just Pixel haters. And I'm coming to Pixel's defense today. I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna defend Pixel in this one because these people are frauds. I have never in my life seen a person brag about the thermometer sensor on the back of these Pixels. Remember, right around 2022 when COVID was a thing, remember they implemented the temperature sensor in the camera island for you to like hold to your head. It'll tell your temperature. Remember when COVID was a thing? If you had a raised temperature, and with the Pixel you could check your own temperature, right? Well, it's been on the Pixel ever since 2022 or whenever they implemented it. I think back on the Pixel 8 or 7 or 8. Been there on the 7, 8, 9, 10. And then on the 11, this one, they're taking that off and adding the Pixel Glow. And this person was complaining, not to mention about other things, right? Oh, the CPU and the GPU, and you're taking away the temperature, and you're making us buy and it got more expensive this year. And I said, I can't even remember what I said, but obviously I was a little worked up, and that's why I try to stay off a lot of these things, is because I do get worked up about this stuff. I love technology, right? Just like you do. But it's like certain comments or certain people that don't see the full picture. After reading 4 or 5 of them, I start to get a little worked up. And on the 5th one, I'm like, all right, well, I got to say something. Well, it got me banned. Now look at what I said. This is another post I put up there that I was trying to send. And then I got that pop-up message. When I hit send, I get that pop-up message saying, you have been banned. So I was saying, you're complaining about the new Pixel Glow feature. These threads don't even make up 1% of Pixel buyers. So what do they care about people crying about this new Pixel? I'm talking about there's 100 people complaining about how this Pixel 11 sucks. And I was saying, do you really think you're going to affect sales? Like, do you really, like, and let's be honest, they don't care what I say. And they don't care what people say in Reddit threads. Let's be honest. They don't, right? We're not, if 101 people don't buy the phone, it's not going to affect anything. That's the message I was trying to get across. I was a little frustrated because you can see I bleeped out my own word there. They don't give a bleep about y'all or me. I just remind readers there's no perfect phone. And that's the thing. They were picking this phone apart like it was a piece of shit. And I was saying, yo, there is no perfect phone, right? The iPhone 17 Pro Max, it is far from perfect. The S26 Ultra, far from perfect. The OnePlus 15, far from perfect. The Motorola Signature, not a perfect phone. So, like, I'm like, you're expecting a perfect phone. That's the issue. Your expectations are sky high. If you go into each and every phone knowing, well, it might not have, the best low light pictures, but I really like the design. It's fast, it's snappy. I'm good with it. I'm going to buy it, right? Those are reasonable expectations. The people that were in this thread today were blowing my mind. I couldn't believe there are people out here that are just picking this phone apart. And I get it. That's what Reddit's for. Have the conversation. But there was not one positive post. And I'm talking there was probably at least 100 comments or whatever you want to call them in Reddit. I don't really use it that much. But so I just let them know, like, so people can go cry me a river while Google launches their 11th generation of the Pixel. It's going to sell. If y'all don't like it, don't buy it. It's that simple, right? So today I found myself defending Pixels. So, it is what it is. But I mean, look, if you know what you're getting, it's not a bad phone. Like, if you're a big time gamer, don't get the phone. You see what I'm saying? But if you take a lot of pictures, if you got kids, you go on trips and Six Flags, and it's a great phone. Like, the Pixel 11 is not going to be a shitty phone. Sure, it doesn't play AAA games, well, okay. Well, I don't play games, so what do I care? So, if it didn't have the 200 charging cycle limit, I would buy this phone and enjoy it. In fact, you can buy this phone and enjoy it up to 200 charge for the first 6 months. Just expect after that it's going to take 2 hours to charge. But no, this is going to be a great phone. If you want the Pixel, if you're excited for the launch of this Pixel, you should be. This is going to be a great phone. But I must remind people, it's not perfect. You need to know what its limits are. You need to have expectations now. Remember, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So let's get into the Pixel Glow, shall we? What's going on, Daniel? Thought the camera thing was going to be better during COVID. You can use your iPhone as an external camera on Mac. Most Androids is one on PC. You know what? Yeah, and when I don't know if you caught the very beginning on TikTok. I'm just starting on TikTok with a burner account and a burner phone. It's making me do 3 live streams on desktop only for 25 minutes each, and then they'll allow external cameras, and then they'll allow give me a stream key so I can plug it into StreamYard. The app I'm using, like right now, I'm using a webcam. But I can use this signature as a webcam. There's an app called Irium. I can also use Smart Connect. So yeah. But my point was, when I use the iPhone with my webcam application called Irium, IRIUN. It is super janky. Like, it is choppy. It's choppy. Now, I don't know why, but it is what I just ordered a new 4K camera anyways to upgrade the visuals. So yeah, there's multiple ways you can record, but I got the newest. What did I order? I don't know. I think it's a new OBS 4K webcam. So I think the one I'm using, a Logitech Stream Cam, it's all right. But if you can tell from the shorts that I uploaded earlier today, they don't look that good. They don't look that good. So I'm gonna try a few things out here, hardware wise, right, to try to get it, try to increase the quality of these videos. The phone sucks because it has a 4-year-old Power VR GPU, dreadful CPU performance, and it's not priced accordingly. They really have an at good value since the Pixel 8 Pro. I get it, but from my standpoint this morning when I was defending the Pixel phone on Reddit, you have to understand Pixel's not I wish they were, but I honestly believe they're not concerned with you and I. Now, it's up to us. We have the purchasing power to just not buy the phone, right? And that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm just, it's first year ever. I'm going to not buy a Pixel. We're still going to get one in the house. My wife's going to get one, but I'm not, right? That's my choice, right? I think we're kind of on the same page here, but I don't think Google's concerned with you and I. Let's be honest. Google's concerned about my sister. You know, Google's concerned about my dad because they're Pixel users, right? So they're like, oh, the new Pixel's out. Well, I guess I should get it. They don't know about the GPU. They don't know about the CPU. Hell, they don't even know about Pixel Glow, right? Now, I'm sure Google's going to market this, right? Football season's coming around. Pixel's been big in marketing here in the NFL. But I don't think they're concerned with you and I about what we think. Now, maybe that's their problem. But I don't know. I was just worked up this morning. All I saw was people bitching and complaining. And if, for you and I, the Pixel, yeah, it's probably overpriced, right? You compare it to the OnePlus 15, really not a comparison. But the average consumer is not thinking about that. You see what I'm saying? So for the enthusiasts, we're going to pass. But I'm really interested to see how many they sell. Right? I really want to fast forward. I'm really interested in this Pixel, specifically the 11 series, to see how much they sell 6 months from now, a year from now. Now, I know we don't really get official numbers, but there's certain like Counterpoint Research. They do really good analytics on these things that can kind of, narrow it down to a good round number. I really want to see what this will sell because I have a feeling, because their market share has been going up steadily for the last few years. Like, it's actually kind of impressive, but I think this is going to be the first year. Now, I don't think it's just going to be Pixel. I stated yesterday, I think Samsung foldable sales are going to suck, and it just comes down to the price. It's just that simple in my mind. Everything is getting more expensive, not just phones, everything. Paper towels, water, like everything is getting more expensive. Cases, right? Like SD cards and peripherals, like little plugins. Everything's getting expensive, and I think phones are luxuries. And I think when people are struggling out here, and phones are way down on the list of it's a want, it's not a need. Well, I guess technically, I guess now it's a need, but you get the point. Like a brand new phone's not a need, it's a want. So I think their sales are going to drop this year, honestly. But like I said, I think a lot of sales in the phone industry are gonna drop. That's where used phone sales are going to increase, and I think that's why the used phone market or the values of used phones have not really gone down. But I get your point, and I think we are on the same page. I just don't think Google is concerned with us. Now, maybe that's their problem, but us that are nerds and really look at the specs, it's just not. We're in a very niche kind of buyer's market, right? But I'm going to skip it this year. So, it is what it is. Thermometer came in handy once for me when traveling with family. Kid came down with a fever, so I used, Pixel to track it. Otherwise, never used it before. I used it just like this privacy shade on the Samsung. I used it when it first came out. Remember when it first came out, it wasn't certified by well, not the FCC. It wasn't certified. It wasn't the Health Association, FDA. It wasn't certified by the FDA. And remember, I don't know how accurate it was. I think it did get accurate, but yeah, I used it once or twice and then just never used it again. Which I'm sure most people the same way, right? On sale pixels have good value, in my opinion. Full MSRP, probably not. And I think you're 100% correct. I don't think brand new pricing, and that goes for a lot of phones. A lot of phones. A lot of phones. I think you're right. And look, it was good example is the Nothing Phone 3, right? When that was launched, overpriced. But I'm not against getting one. I just got to find one at a good price. So let me show you exactly what this Pixel Glow looks like. And I'm gonna go off screen for a second because I gotta blow my nose. I don't want to be rude and have y'all listen to that, but let me throw this up on the screen and let me blow my nose real quick. Hang on. All right, I apologize about that. Um, so there's the Pixel Glow in action. Now it looks like to me that that was their only option because when we got first look at the official renders of the Pixel 11 series, that's like one of the first things I was looking for, and that's one of the first things I noticed is, oh, wait a second, where the hell is the LED strip? Where's the Pixel Glow going to be implemented? Because it wasn't around the housing of the camera island. It wasn't the top of the housing of the camera island. There wasn't some strip on the back like with Nothing Phone. So I was like, the only other thing that makes sense if they implement it, if this is a real thing, is within that actual camera island, that black part. Now, what it appears they're going to do is use it not only as a flashlight, because when you have RGB on there, it'll also shine a bright white light if you need flashlight, and then or flash for a camera, and then I'm sure it will be customizable for notifications, which is cool. I wish they went back to the RGB dot like on the Nexus 5, how it had the little RGB notification light up in the speaker housing right up here. I really miss that. Like, I really wish they brought that back. It's just one pixel, right? It's like one little dot up there. It's like, did that really kill you to bring that back? But that's essentially what this is going to be, but on the back where the flash is on the Pixel. So you'll be able to customize certain ringtones. You'll be able to customize if you have a blue flashing light for all calls, but when your wife calls, it's a red flashing light. You could do that, or vice versa, right? It'll be customizable. And one thing we have not heard is anything about the Pixel Book. I'd planned on getting one, and I thought they were going to launch the Pixel Book along with this. But I haven't seen any news, no information, no leaks in regards to if the new Pixel Book is coming, or whatever they're calling it. I don't know what they're calling it. Pixel Book, something like that. We have no clue. Now they may announce it. I'm sure they will talk about it at the launch of this, but they might launch it at a later date. So that is the Pixel Glow. So, I mean, is it a revelation in technology? No. I mean, I guess it's cool, but will it make me want to buy that phone any more than a competing phone? No, not necessarily. I mean, it'll be cool to play with, and I'm sure I would use this Pixel Glow, the actual notification, more than I would use a privacy shade. I can guarantee you that, right? I can tell you I would use this more than the temperature sensor on the back of the Pixels, right? Like, I can actually see myself using this. So for as much shit as it's been getting online on Reddit threads, I don't mind it. In fact, I would probably use it and set special flash tones and colors for certain, notifications. I think I would use it. But again, I don't think I'm going to get one this year. But I think my wife has settled on the Pixel 11 Pro 512 gig, because you got to get the 512 to get the 16 gigs of RAM. And I think she's going to get the fog color, that like silver whitish color. I think she settled on that. So we will be buying one this year, but usually we buy two every single year. 2 Pixels, 2 Samsungs. I get a Flip. I get the OnePlus. Nothing phone. She doesn't get OnePlus or nothing, but every year we at least buy 2 Pixels and 2 Samsung phones. So we'll get one this year, and I'll certainly unbox it, and we'll certainly take a look at it. She's going to let me borrow it for YouTube reasons and purposes, but we'll definitely explore that. We'll see how bright it gets. We'll see how you can customize it in the settings. We'll go a complete walkthrough on this device. So that comes out here in just about 4 weeks. So we have that to look forward to. Now let's get into the Samsung foldables. So did everybody, I did mention yesterday on yesterday's stream about the Ice Universe. Yes, we did. And how we kind of narrowed it down by process of elimination to, because remember, the initial video that came out 2 days ago showed a Z Fold 8 opened with no crease, a completely flat, plain display. Holy crap, that was big news, right? Now, I'm going to take Ice Universe's word for it. He came out yesterday and said, hold up, that video is not, he said the video is real, but he said that's not a Z Fold 8. He said that's technically a Z Fold 7, and then left it at that. And then yesterday we kind of went through the process of elimination, and we're like, well, hold up. If that's a Z Fold 7, the Z Fold 7 had a crease in it. So how is that in the video a Z Fold 7? Well, I think that's a pre-production unit that they were testing this hinge out, this new hinge that they're implementing on the Fold 8 series. I think that was a hinge that they were going to use in the foldable, but after lots of testing, lots of R&D, lots of quality control, they connect them up to these machines that open and close it like 100,000 times. I think that hinge they were using turned out, well, obviously it turned out to be a dud because they didn't put it in their phones because there's still a crease. So at some point within that testing, they thought, yeah, we can't use this hinge quite yet, right? I mean, probably would create a crease some sort of issue after so many open and closings. So that brings up the next question of, okay, so is it still going to have a crease? And I don't know, because today we got word Samsung's unveiling their new display technology, their creaseless display technology. Huh? So at first, and we're going to get into it. So we get a video that claims to be a Z Fold 8 with no crease, and then Ice Universe comes out. And if we should believe anybody, it's him. He's, again, not 100, he's close to 100%, like 99% rock solid. Whatever he says comes true. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one, just because he's right on almost everything else. But it makes you wonder. So we saw a creaseless Fold 8 on video. Ice Universe 2 days ago. Ice Universe comes out yesterday and says, "Nah, that's not it." So leaves us wondering, well, it must still have a crease then, right? And then Samsung comes out today and puts their new display technology, their creaseless display technology, folding creaseless display technology out. And today I'm like, well, does it have a crease? Does it or does it not? Now maybe it's good marketing, right? Maybe somebody at Samsung, very freaking clever, because you got me all over this, scratching my head, wanting to dig up information and look into as much as I can. Maybe that's the point. Maybe they want people like you and I to be all over this. Well, marketing is doing its job, right? That's what marketing is all about. They want you to notice their product. They want you to buy their product. If the more you notice it, the more likely you are to purchase it. So let me pull up here is their new screen technology. I'm taking off these pixel glow images. So here we have, and I'm going to pull up an article that explains it, but here is, apparently this is a new thing, right? This is new technology that Samsung's just now implementing on the Fold 8 series. Now, here's another question. Are they implementing this new folding display technology only on the Fold 8 series, the Fold 8 and the Fold 8 Ultra? What about the Flip 8? Are they going to use, because that would be cool too. Look, the crease really doesn't bother me on the Flip series because it has gotten smaller with time, but is it going to be crease free? I have no clue. We'll just have to wait and see. But you have the protective layer up top, essentially a screen protector. You have the UTG, the ultra thin glass below the protective layer, below the screen protector. Now that ultra thin glass is like, technically it's glass, but if anybody's used a foldable, it's like a plastic display. It's not like your typical phone screen that's all glass. You can look, I had to get a flip, what was it, a Flip 6 or a Flip 7 display repaired, or the protective layer. I had to get it replaced because one of my cats here, one of their nails punctured the top layer of my flip of the inner display. I think it was the Flip 6. You know, just one of those things. They're very delicate. If you're gonna get a foldable, you absolutely have to get insurance on it. That's a deal breaker for me. If I can't have insurance on a foldable, I'm not getting it. Then you have the OLED panel underneath the ultra thin glass. You have, this is their new technology here, titanium alloy film. Titanium alloy film. And then you have the new titanium plate underneath. So it sounds like to me, I'm going to pull up this article. Sounds like to me, this might have zero crease. Like, fingers crossed, right? Because I want Samsung to succeed. I want them to beat Apple, even though we all know Apple's probably going to sell more iPhone Ultras than Samsung's going to sell Z Fold 8s. Let's just be honest. But I want them to do good, right? Even though I may not buy one, I still want them to succeed. You see what I'm saying? It's good for everybody. So let me pull up this article here and I'll show you a little bit what this is all about. Let's see here. It's on Android Authority. So let me pull up my browser. Let's see. All right. So let me take this down and let me put up. So here we have an article on Android Authority. Samsung shares the secret behind its next generation creaseless foldable displays. Here's how Samsung's Flex Titanium technology aims to rival non-folding screen quality. So remember the keywords here. Creaseless. Creaseless, right? Is it going to have a crease or is it not? Creaseless. Okay. So Samsung is about to launch a trio of new foldable phones. No surprise, right? We knew this, including the Fold 8 Flip 8. Rumors have already been suggesting these devices could feature virtually creaseless display panels. Samsung now details how it plans to achieve this with its new Flex Titanium tech. So Apple's secret to having a creaseless foldable is in their hinge. Now, I'm not saying that Apple's display tech, of course it's a Samsung OLED, but I'm talking about the panels, the layers that go above the OLED panel and below the OLED panel. You know, you still have to have the right ingredients, remember, to make something like this come to fruition. But the key ingredient for Apple is the new hinge, the liquid metal hinge that Apple's using on the iPhone Ultra. When you open it up, that liquid metal inside the hinge is actually going to push up on that crease where it folds in half and make it a creaseless display, right? Now, Samsung, it appears to me they're doing the opposite. They're putting all their cachet into this new display. Not to say that their hinge is trash, or it is a all new hinge, even from last year, all new redesign. And again, not saying the hinge is not a key factor, but all we're seeing here right now before launch is in this new display technology. So I guess we'll find out. But it says ahead of the formal debut, Samsung is unveiling and putting the spotlight on its latest achievement, Flex Titanium. So what the hell is Flex Titanium? Building a good foldable, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know this. Flex Titanium is Samsung's branding for a new innovative approach to its foldable design that relies on two key components. A flexible, super thin titanium alloy foil that's integrated into the display itself, right below the OLED panel, and a titanium plate underneath for flexible yet robust support. And there's your graphic we saw earlier. So this new alloy film is designed to be much stiffer alternative to something like a polymer, which is currently used, letting Samsung add stability to the display without increasing thickness. This film is only 1/3 the diameter of a human hair. I'm going to repeat that. This new Flex Titanium technology that Samsung using, this new film that's made of titanium is only 1/3 the diameter of a human hair. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty impressive. So now underneath that is supported by that titanium plate, and by covering it with covering it with micro patterned holes where it folds. Samsung says it's been able to let it stay flexible while still tightly bonding to the display above it. That secure connection is intended to help with long-term durability, and all without interfering with the ability to easily fold and unfold as needed. It says, because they're using very choice words, so remember, in the back of my mind, I'm still trying to figure out if this is going to have a crease or not. So it said near creaseless, but it says, according to Samsung, this all makes for a no compromise solution that achieves design, quality, and endurance goals all at once. Even though the company acknowledges that titanium can be challenging material to work with, Samsung sounds very pleased with the ultimate solution it's managed to cook up and is excited about showing it off with next week's phones. So I guess time will tell. I mean, I really don't know what to take from. Let's see if there. Wait, hold on. What does this say here? It says we don't. Okay, I still don't know if they're going to put this in the flip. All right, I get it. They're going to put it in the fold, but they're not really being specific. And maybe they don't know. I mean, I'm talking about Android Authority, but I still want to know if it's going to be implemented in the flip. Hang on one second, and I'll answer your question in just a second. Hang on. Okay, I apologize about that. Are you getting a folding phone with the price hikes? I think I'm going to get the flip. I think I'm going to get the flip 8. I previously stated that I was not, that I was going to take a break, so to speak. And same thing with Pixel, right? It's a big deal to me, the 200 charging cycle thing, because that essentially means on the Pixel that I can only use it for 6 months, and then it's going to go in the drawer like my Pixel 10 Pro. I haven't pulled it out in months. Like it's just parked there. I don't want to buy a phone and enjoy it for 6 months and then have to put it away. So I'm going to take a break on Pixel. Now, I mentioned earlier my wife is still going to get one. But getting back to Samsung, I was going to take a break on the flip because I've had every single flip ever made. And I really like them. I can't do the foldables. I can't do the Fold 7, the Fold 8, the Fold 6. It's a design thing with me. Whatever. I love the flips, right? Especially for recording. It's cool because you can record videos on the front facing. You can record videos as a selfie, but with the rear cameras because you can flip it around, right? Plus, the whole nostalgia thing, like my first cell phone was a flip phone. So, it just takes me back to those days. Anyways, I love the flips, but I was going to take a break because I essentially use it for 6 months. And then for whatever reason, I can't put a finger on it. I just kind of get bored with it and then I just end up selling it. Right. So I was like, I've literally done that every single year. So I'm like, what's the point? They're more expensive. I'm probably just going to do the same thing, repeat that same pattern. So I was like, let me just save myself money and, all the other stuff that comes with it. And I'm just going to skip it this year until last week. Until last week, we found out Ice Universe put out a tweet saying that this was going to be the very last small foldable, or did he say foldable or flip phone from Samsung? I was like, say what? How could Samsung pull the plug on the flip? It's their highest selling foldable. It sells more than the Fold series, believe it or not. It does. And I think just a simple reason, because it's cheaper, right? So, since I love the flips so much, I thought to myself, and I literally as soon as I saw that tweet, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to get this one. Because if it is their last one, I want to buy one. I want to hold on to it. And I'm not actually going to keep this one. If I get bored with it, I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to put it in the drawer next to the Pixel. But I want to have the last model of a line that I truly enjoy. So yes, I will be getting one, even with the price hikes. Now, one way that Samsung is going to try to, and I think a lot of companies, you're going to see a lot of companies adopt, I think you're going to see a lot of companies adopt this same type of theory when it comes to selling new products, right? Because think of the car market. It's so hard to sell cars now, brand new cars. You really have to entice the buyer to purchase it, right? You got to give them incentive to buy it. Well, I think these phone manufacturers are going to have to get really clever with phones because they're getting mad expensive. So one way they're going to negate the price increase is, well, they can do a lot of things, but the easiest, most simple thing you can even think of right off the top of the head is increase the trade-in values for these devices that we trade in, right? You trade in, and they give you whatever. What do they give you for? I think when you purchased the Flip 7 last year, if you traded in the Flip 6, the previous year's flagship Flip, I think they would give you $700, right? So we know that that's basically what they're going to do, because if you signed up for the Unpacked event to reserve your Galaxy, if you look at the fine print, it says save up to, of course it says save $30. Like, whoop-de freaking do, $30. But if you look below that, it says, and save up to $1,280 on your trade-in. Say what? I think that's more than last year. I think. Now that might be for if you buy a Fold 8, that might be for last year's Fold 7. But I'm anticipating the base Flip, getting back to the Flip 8, I think instead of being $999, essentially $1,000 like the Flip 7, I think you're going to see a hefty price increase. So I think they're going to, from the European pricing sheet, and I know it's not an exact equivalent, but if you convert those euros to what they're going to sell in Europe, that Flip 8 was going to be $1,486. $1,486. Now, it's not a one-to-one conversion. They'll probably drop it to $1,299. That's what I think. $1,299 for the Flip 8. So one thing they can do, instead of offering $700 for your previous year's flagship, they can give you, if you have a Flip 7, they'll probably increase that trade-in value to $800 or $900 probably. So you're still going to have to trade that in, and you're still going to have to pay a few $100s on top to get the new phone. But that's one easy way that they can still entice people to purchase these. You know, so, and look, and what they do with those trade-in phones is they turn around and either sell those or they auction them off, right, in a off-market auction. So the prices of used phones have, at the very least, held their value, and in some cases have increased slightly as far as how much they're worth after a year of use. So I think you'll see Samsung get clever with that. I think you're going to see Apple get clever with that. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Apple. They're stiflers. But you'll see Google, I think, is going to do that with the Pixel 11 series. I think you're going to see Samsung still keep those high trade-in values, even higher, even with the upcoming S27 series. So, yeah, I'm going to get one. But we'll just have to wait and see. But what I do want you to do, if you're watching this, is subscribe to the channel, because we are going to go live on July 22nd. We're going to go live, and we're going to cover all this. I'm going to let you know what the best trade-in deals are out there. I'm going to we'll uncover the trade-in values if they did increase it, because look, we don't know for sure. I'm just guessing that's what they're going to do. So I want you to subscribe, because we're going to examine this launch in depth, right? We're gonna see where you can get the best deals. Maybe you want the Z Fold 8, the wide body, the wide fold. We'll go find the best deals online with those. Maybe it's at AT&T, maybe it's at T-Mobile, maybe it's with Samsung, right? But stick around. We will cover all of this extensively, and I'll have a Flip 8. I think I'm gonna get the white one. I think that's they're coming with white, black, and pink. I'm certainly not getting pink. And I had the black one last year. I had the black Flip 7. They've never released a Flip series in white. At least I don't think so. And so I think that's the one that I'm going to get. So hang on one second. Apple rips off people with trade-ins. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I remember your name. Yeah, they sure do. Apple rips, and you know what? What bothers me is that they give Android users, like, if you want to go on Apple's website and purchase a new iPhone 17 Pro, right? If you want to purchase a new iPhone 17 Pro, they give you an insulting trade-in offer. Now, I don't know this to be a fact. Well, I do know it's a fact because I've looked online, but I'm saying I think they do that on purpose. I think they do that to insult Android users. Because if you go on there, if you have a flagship S26 Ultra and you want to trade this in for an iPhone 17 Pro Max, the trade-in offer is like $200. You're like, I'm not even lying. You're like, huh? Did I click the wrong button? $200? Really? I think they're doing it on purpose. I think they want to devalue the competitors' devices. I 100% believe that. They are such assholes that they're looking in any way possible to devalue a competitor's product. And Apple users, lifelong Apple users that have never even used an Android, every now and then they'll click around to see trade-in values and they'll say, I knew that S26 Ultra wasn't worth crap. Just little stuff like that. I'm like, bothers me, but that's another day, another story. Yeah. Oh, you like white too? Man, white looks so good on so many devices. I had the white S25 Ultra. And this year I got the black. My wife, I should have gotten the white one. My wife got the white S26 Ultra. Oh man, it looks freaking amazing. I was cleaning off her phone I was cleaning it the other day. I took the case off and was cleaning her phone for her, and I was like, damn, this is a nice freaking phone. I pulled mine out beside it, took the case off, and I was like, why doesn't mine look like that? The white looks absolutely stunning. Fantastic. It's like the S25 Ultra was like a base white, like I would say it was kind of like, no, maybe I have it backwards. The S25 Ultra white color was kind of like a pearl white, or it wasn't necessarily pearl white. On Cadillacs, they have a white one, but it's like a pearl where it has a little shimmer in the paint. Well, this one this year doesn't necessarily have the pearl or shimmer to it, but God, it looks good. It looks like a completely different phone, and I'm kicking myself to this day. Damn it, I should have gotten the white one. So I'm going to do that with this Flip. I think the white looks fantastic. I got the black one last year. So I like black, but I've had tons of black phones. There was like a 2 or 3 year period where all I did was get black devices. Black. And now I'm kind of, going away from that, even though I can't really say that with this black S26 Ultra. But I didn't like any of the colors this year on the S26 series. I thought the purple was girly. In fact, that might be the best color, because if you see it in person, it's different from what it looks like online. It's not girly. So I didn't want that one, and I was like, I'm not going to get the white because I have the white S25 Ultra. Well, I should have gotten the white, but it looks amazing. So I'm going to get the white Flip this year. So I like them. Now, I don't know, have you heard anything about camera? Let's go into the upgrades, because I know they're not really before we get out of here, I know they're not really. Well, I take that back. It's getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. That is a big deal. That is an enormous deal on the Flip series because the last few years they've been putting these cheap ass Exynos CPUs in them. Well, they're okay, but nothing special. But they had the Exynos modem in there. I live in a dead spot. I absolutely need a Snapdragon modem to get T-Mobile's new 5G network. It's that big of a deal to me. So I'm ecstatic this new Flip's getting. I'm ecstatic this new Flip is getting the Exynos. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, the Snapdragon CPU because it comes with the Snapdragon modem. Let's see here, Flip. Are they getting new cameras or no? It looks like it's the same one. Z Flip 8 features a dual rear camera. Oh yeah, we knew that. In single front selfie camera, the hardware setup remains largely unchanged from previous generations, relying instead on upgraded image processing. Okay, so that's where it could make. You could get better pictures and videos from this Flip 8 compared to the Flip 7. Now, they did not change the sensors as it says here. However, I am a firm believer that the Snapdragon processor is far superior to the Exynos processor when it comes to image processing. I think just that little, now it's not going to change a night, it's not going to be a drastic change where it's like going from 720p to 4K, right? But I think there'll be little subtle enhancements, like I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but you catch the drift, right? Like the image processing unit on the Snapdragon is incredible, well, at least compared to the Exynos CPU. So you should get little better videos and stuff like that. Well, the videos really wasn't an issue with me in the Flip. It was just the camera, the still photos. When you went past 3x, 4x, especially 5x, the camera quality just nosedived, and that's because it doesn't really have a periscope. I think it just has a wide and ultra wide, so it's missing a telephoto, and that's why you can't really zoom that far on those. But I carry around a couple phones with me all the time, so it's not a big deal to me. It's a good camera as long as you don't go past 3 or 4 5x. It's a decent camera, right? Let's see, it'll support 4K video, 60 frames per second. Now, I want to know last thing I want to look up is the Flip 8 getting the new M16 OLED panel. This one says M14, but I don't necessarily trust this YouTuber. Let me see what OLED panel it's getting. Damn, it's not going to have the M16 OLED panel. It's going to have the M14. Not like that's a bummer, right? I mean, that's still, technically, it's the latest and greatest. It's just the M16 panel is coming out on the new Pixel 11 series and the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max. So it's not a big deal. It's still fantastic. It's still in fact, that's the same OLED panel that the S26 Ultra has, minus the privacy shade. If this didn't have the privacy shade on it, it would be even that much better. So it's still a good panel, but the M16 is where it's at. Let's see. It features redesigned hinge structure and improved OLED backing, which drastically... Oh, so this might answer my question from earlier. Because remember, I was saying, is this new technology that Samsung has for the, what is it called? Flex Tech? Or something like that. Something like that. I was wondering, is this just going to be on the Fold 8? Like, what about the Flip? I haven't heard anything. Now, take it with a grain of salt. But Gemini, Google is saying that this new Flip 8 is going to feature a redesigned hinge and improved OLED backing, which drastically reduces or eliminates the display crease. So it very well might. It sounds like they're going to put that same Flex Tech in the Flip series as well. So good news there. Hey, what do you know? We made it on Google. Look at that. The Flip 8 is the very best. Last flip model ever. That's what they're saying. That's why I'm going to get it. But maybe it's good marketing on Samsung's behalf, right? Oh, this is our last ever. You better hurry up and buy it while you can. Well, I guess I'm a sucker then. I don't know what to tell you. Since the iPhone 17 Pro Max didn't have black, so I went with silver. So my S26 Ultra is white. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That white is beautiful. And your Huawei Pura X Max is also white. Nice. Normally they get black, but yep, you need to match the colors. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. The Motorola Signature is black, but the only other option was gold. Kind of girly in my opinion, so I was like, just get the black Signature. And then the 15, OnePlus 15 in the sandstone color, which is beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to get white. I think I'm going to go with white. I know on the S27 Ultra that I'm going to get white, or at least try to get a white as well. So I'm going to do that as well. And then I guess when the 18 series comes out, I'll get a silver. I think they have silver, right? I think there was a white or a silver coming out. Oh yeah, the white Moto Fold is beautiful. The black one is the best texture. Huh. So the white Motorola Razr Fold doesn't have the same material on the back, or not material, but like feel as the black one. Huh. Yeah, it's pretty incredible the way this feels on the back. I love this thing. The S27 Edge was the same digital zoom. Yeah, not the best. It's not the same as the real dedicated telephoto. Yeah, it's just not the same. Interesting. Yeah, you know, I haven't looked into that. Maybe we'll do that right now, real quick. Silk-like texture. No way. That's amazing. Yeah, that white one looks nice. That would be the one I would get if I was getting the Razr Fold for sure. So Moto Edge 70 Max. Now, let's see. 7,100 milliampere hour battery, Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, impressive IP69. Here are the key specs: 6.8 inch extreme AMOLED. Camera: 50 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 32 megapixel front. Charging: 90 watt wired. Charging the first full 25 watt wireless. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I saw something about this the other day. I'll have to do a little more. I'll have to watch a video or two on that and see. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm sure that battery will last a long time. A long time. Might be the same. It's true. Very true. Well, I appreciate the time, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Catch me. We're gonna do. So here's what I'm gonna do moving forward. I'm gonna try to hold myself to this. I know I was a little late today on the start time, but I was trying to get my TikTok streams in so I can upgrade my camera on there. But what I'm gonna do is try to go live every day at a set time, right? If I'm going to do this full time, I need to get serious about this. So not that I haven't been in the past, but look, if I do a set time and date every day, it's a lot easier for the viewer, for you guys, and honestly, it's easier for me. I just need to kind of reschedule my day a little bit, but I'm going to do that. So I think right now I'm going to try to go live every day at the very least, but the time wise will be 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Today, as I mentioned, a few minutes late, but again, I was trying to get this stupid TikTok thing working. But I'm going to try to, like every day 5 o'clock news comes on, right? Well, you'll know 4 p.m. right around there. We'll go live and talk technology and stuff like that. But I'm going to upload shorts, videos, whenever. But I think for the live stream, I'm going to try to have a set time that everybody can watch. And again, I think it makes it easier for everybody, including myself. So I started that today, and I'm going to try to hold myself to it. So even if we go live for 30 minutes or an hour, right? Even if there's no news to speak of, I'll figure out a topic to discuss. And then members only, I'm trying to figure that out. So I think members only, I'm going to do a schedule. I still haven't really figured that out as far as a schedule, but I am. So I think we'll do members only on. Some other YouTubers do like a members only live like every Wednesday night, like one day a week, but I think I'm going to do 2 days a week, possibly 3. I'm just trying to see how I'm going to fit it in my schedule. But what's today? Wednesday. I think we'll do our first members only. I'm going to do a giveaway this week as well. So let me figure that out. I don't want to waste your time. I'll figure at least I got one of them down, right? 4 p.m. for the channel, for the live stream. And then I'll figure out a schedule and time for the members only, and I'm going to stick to it. Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate the time, and I will update everybody on the members only when I schedule that. Again, it'll be 2, maybe 3 times a week. So we'll do that, and I'll probably put out a community post whenever I do schedule that. But I appreciate your time, and we'll see you tomorrow. Please have a safe, enjoyable afternoon. It's like storming. It's like a hurricane over here. I'm surprised I still have power, to be honest with you. So it's coming down pretty bad in South Texas. But I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate your time. Please be safe. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.